Hey everyone, it's Brittany at Aegis. Thank you for joining us today for this desktop demo of how to navigate UltiPro from the employee self-service perspective. So before we continue in this video, we just want to remind you that we are not professional YouTubers or sound engineers. It is April 7th, 2020, and we're mostly working remote due to everything going on with COVID-19. So like many of our staff that is able to work remotely, you may hear children in the background, you may hear dogs barking. I am so sorry about that. It's just a testament to the environment that we are currently in. So thank you very much. And thank you to all of our employees that are working out in the field right now and working so hard during this difficult environment. All right, so here we are. We are logged into UltiPro through the web browser. We really want to show you the perspective of the employee self-service through the web browser, because while you can do many of these functions that we're about to look at through the app, we find that going through the web browser gives you a little bit more detail on the functions that you can perform through here. We think this is really a better learning platform right now to do these functions through here instead of the app. So we have logged in our test user, Aegis2 Test, through the web browser, and this is their landing page. So Aegis2 Test is a supervisor. So this employee's screen may look different than yours if you are not a supervisor. If you're not a supervisor, you're not going to have this My Team list right here. So once you log in, your landing page will look similar or somewhat similar to this. And to look at the full suite of employee self-service functions, you can go up to this menu right here and just click. And you can see that you have a couple of options. You have home, which just brings you back to this home screen. Inbox, which you don't need to worry about right now because we haven't rolled out the features for that yet. Myself, for the purposes of this demonstration, is really what you need to be looking at. So Myself is your menu. It's essentially your self-service menu as an employee of Aegis. So briefly going through these different sections of the Myself tab, you have your employee summary, which really just gives you some information about yourself, which if you want to look at it, go for it. If you want to see what your job is, your status, if you're active, if you're hourly or salaried non-exempt, and then it shows you things you can do. You can change your name, address, or telephone. That does go through an approval process. You can add phone numbers, add contacts or emergency contacts, things like that. Voluntarily self-identify of a disability. There's different things that you can do on this tab. So here are the different things that you can look at or change. Private info is just going to have your age. So apparently I'm 70 years old, 70 years and 3 months old. It gives you some information that's private to you that other people cannot see, including your supervisor. You can also click to look at your emergency contacts. As you can see, our test employee does not have any. And then any other contacts that are assigned to your profile. So if you look at just contacts, you can see your contacts on here that may be beneficiaries or dependents. You can see as well that you can look and see if they are listed as an emergency contact in addition to being just a beneficiary or dependent. Status key dates really just gives you some information about your hire. Name, address, and telephone. It really provides you the same information that's on this employee summary right here. So we'll go back, the My Company tab. There's nothing on here right now. The only thing that you can see is the employee directory and the org chart. The organization chart really just shows you your organization. So because our test employee reports to me because it has to report to somebody, you're going to see an extension not just of the test employees' direct reports, but also people that directly reported to me and then people that are on my team. This is actually a great feature. You can go in and look at our org chart just to see how our company structure is organized. So it's pretty cool. View opportunities in ultimatesoftware.com. For view opportunities, we do not have our onboarding or applicant tracking system, which is run off of our careers page. We don't have that set up yet. So don't worry about looking at these two right here. Ultimatesoftware.com will literally just bring you to ultimatesoftware.com. So we're going to go back and we're going to go under jobs. Jobs, job summary, it really just shows you, again, what your job is, your title, your pay frequency, whether you're hourly, salaried, or salaried non-exempt. You can click on the compensation tab, look at the compensation. The hourly rate for our test employee is $1.83, so it looks like we'll be getting in trouble with the Department of Labor because that is well under minimum wage. We can look at job history. As you can see, they've had some history with this position. I've actually been trying to do different things, testing out different roles and different functions of this particular test employee, so you can see that we've done a little work in here. There's nothing under reviews or other company information right now because that is a layer that we are still working on and is in progress. Hey, my onboarding, well, you're already onboarded, so you don't need to worry about that. We're going to skip over career and education and perception because those are features that we will roll out in layers separate from this one. So under pay, we can look at current pay statement. This is where you look at your check stub after we process payroll. So we haven't processed a payroll in UltiPro yet. For this particular employee, there's no current statement that's going to be available. You will only have your pay history because your pay history is what was brought over from Paycom. But you won't have a current pay statement because you haven't had a check yet through UltiPro. You've only had pay history brought over from Paycom. So after we're running the first payroll for UltiPro for the salaried, non-exempt, and hourly employees for April 10th, so you will have a pay statement for the starting on the April 10th pay date. And every pay group, salaried, non-exempt, hourly, all of your pay statements going from 4/10 forward will be in UltiPro. Pay history, again, you're only going to have what's in Paycom. Our test employee was not in Paycom, so they don't have any pay history. Year-to-date summary, total comp, all of these functions you will have some history in there for, but for the test employee, they do not. Direct deposit, this is where you can add or change direct deposit. Change pay statement preference. We do require electronic direct deposit for all employees, except in states that do not allow it, which right now the only state that we operate in that does not allow the company to mandate all employees to be on direct deposit is New Mexico. Income tax, that is where you update your state and federal income tax. Right here you can add change withholding form for W-4, or if you have a state income tax and you're working in a state, excuse me, that requires you to have state income tax withheld, you'll be able to do that here as well. W-2, you won't be able to access this part until 2021 when your 2020 W-2 will be in here. So your W-2 for 2020 will not be in Paycom because we are moving away from Paycom and we have transferred all the information into UltiPro. It will be available for 2020 through UltiPro. Model My Pay is a really cool feature in UltiPro. So what we can do in Model Your Pay, if it ever pulls up, let's try to refresh this. Let's go back there. Okay, that's better. So Model My Pay is where you can take a look at what your current pay frequency pay rate is now. So this test's pay rate is $1.83 an hour, which is absolutely terrible. But you can put different scenarios in here to model pay. So say perhaps their pay rate goes to, let's make it minimum wage, $77.25 an hour. It'll update their biweekly pay, and we want to see what it looks like if we filed married with 2 allowances. We're in Texas, there's no state withholding, and maybe I'm going to see if I contribute, let's just say I want to contribute 5% to my 401k based on my new rate, how that would calculate my pay. So this is a really cool feature that can show you how your paycheck could look if your pay situation changed, if you had a pay increase, a pay decrease, added a new benefit. So that is under Pay, Model My Pay. It's a really cool feature if you're interested in using it. All right, so the next thing that we're going to look at, we're actually going to skip over workforce management time, and we're going to go to benefits. So our test employee is not going to have any benefits assigned to them because we don't want Blue Cross or Guardian or Lincoln getting any benefit enrollments, even though they are non-existent for a non-existent person. We don't want to send those over. So the only thing that we're going to look over in benefits right now is time off. So this is really important. You can do the same thing through your app. It's actually pretty easy to request time off through your app, and we will do a separate demo for that. But just know that you can request time off here in the UltiPro desktop website. So we'll click on that, and you'll see that it brings up a separate tab. All right, so my test employee has 40 hours of paid leave available. If you click this arrow, you can see the different types of paid leave that are available and assigned to your profile. But our test employee, they want to request, let's say 2 days off. So they want to take off 4/7 and 4/8. Okay, so 2 days, they're going to request 16 hours vacation, because that's what we're all dreaming of right now after being stuck in the house. All right, so the request has been submitted. Now, when you submit a paid leave request or time off request, your supervisor does get a notification that you have submitted the request. And so they'll log into their profile. They'll also get an email that you submitted a request. They'll see this request that you have submitted. They will click on it and they will either approve or decline that request. That is super easy. That is all you have to do to create a paid leave request. Now, if for some reason you decide whether it hasn't been approved yet or it has, that you don't want to take that time off, you would just simply click into the request and hit cancel request. And that's it. All right, so going back to the Myself tab, there are a few other features on here. There's open enrollment, which we will not go over until the fall when we actually have open enrollment, and life events. Now, life events, if you are a current employee or a new hire, that is where you go to enroll in your benefits. So this is where you would go into if you had a qualifying event such as birth or adoption of a child, marriage or divorce, or gaining or losing other coverage. So if you have a qualifying event, this is where you would go. We would have to approve it as the HR team, and then you would proceed in updating your benefits from there. If you need assistance with this, we will gladly help you one by one. If you go to Documents, Employee Documents, this is where you would upload documents for benefit purposes. So whether you had a qualifying event or if you're a new hire and you need to add benefits, you have to upload documents if you have any dependents on your benefits that prove that those are legitimate dependents. So all you would need to do is go to Add, upload your file, type in the title, and just make sure that you choose the benefit category. All right, that is it for the Myself tab on the UltiPro desktop. This is really your portal for any employee self-service items that you need to update for your own personal information. Thank you so much for watching, and as always, if you have any questions, please reach out to our HR team. Thanks so much.